Good morning, everyone. It has been almost 3 weeks since I last picked up my camera and filmed. I filmed my anxiety video, which thank you all for the wonderful response on that. It's been really fun reading through all the comments and just seeing kind of everybody's story, and then just the nice words were really kind. Then I took off last week and I had already filmed that video the week before. So anyway, it's been a long time since I've picked up this camera, and right now I'm making a grocery list. I have it right over here on the couch. Let me tell you, groceries for me is just the hardest thing in the world. I do not like going to the grocery store. I don't like putting the groceries away. I don't like planning the meals. I don't like cooking the meals. I know one meal that we're going to make, and that's it. Otherwise, I need to get on Pinterest. I've been trying to pick out things to use, like the meat that's in our freezer. We have pig in there that we butchered last year, and then we also have a cow. So I've been trying to make sure I'm utilizing that stuff too. So I need to get this together real quick because I'm hoping to be out the door in 15 minutes. All right, we are done with the list. When I make my shopping list, I make it in sections, so when I go through the store, I'm not have to like look at the whole list. I could just look at the section. So we have fresh food, cold food, like the other aisle, which would be like bread, canned food, that kind of thing, because Aldi is pretty small. And then, oh my gosh, my nails, I'm sorry guys, they're awful. And then I just make a list of my meals over here, and I hang this on the fridge so I know what I bought like food for. And then up here I make this little list, and these are the things that I need to check to see if I already have them. That way I don't buy them again and be stuck with food I don't need. So let's go check here. We need to check for chicken thighs, which will not be in my pantry, but pumpkin puree and coconut milk. We have coconut milk right here. And then pumpkin puree. It looks like I need pumpkin. So I can cross off coconut milk, and I just need to see if we have chicken thighs. All right, we have no chicken thighs. Our Aldi has been out of chicken thighs for weeks. Every time I go, the freezers are just barren. And so if they have them this time, I'm gonna get 3 bags. Before we go, I'll show you what we're going to town also for, because we need to go to Hobby Lobby. So pretty much I've taken on like 20 different projects right now, and although it is a little overwhelming, I'll be adding another one to the mix today, but it's fine. There's a couple that will be like off my plate here soon. Over here in the back of the living room, I have been kind of getting into remodeling furniture, or like refinishing it. So sorry if that was sun glare, but I refinished this table. I got it sanded down so it's natural wood grain, sealed it. I redid the legs and filled in like the design that was here before. So I am currently remodeling my friend's bathroom, and I have all the remodeling things over here. I've been giving kind of an update on Instagram. I'll be posting more about that in the next couple days, so you'll have to check it out over there. I'll be posting like the before and after pictures over there and stuff. But we have like so many things that I have been picking up for this part of the remodel. Got this rug to put in her bathroom, new hand towel. I mean, isn't that such a pretty combination? And then I have new towels and a shelf and decor and a mirror and all the things over here. So I need to go to Hobby Lobby to get a few more things decor-wise for the shelf and then on the bathroom counter. And then that will be done. I'll be finishing that up on Sunday. And then over here in my living room, or in my kitchen, I have another remodel project that I'm working on. So I'm redoing a dresser. It's flipped upside down right now, but I was picking out colors for it. This is not the color, but I went with something similar for like the sides of the dresser. So my goal is to go to town and not be there longer than 2 hours. Although I know Hobby Lobby is going to take a little while because I actually have to look around and think about what I'm buying. But Aldi will be quick and Menards will be quick. And these Timberlands are the worst to get on. My mom can attest. She has the same pair and they just do not stretch. We're down in my barn because I need to see what seed starting stuff I have in case I need to pick some up, because finally I can say this, after waiting a whole year, we are going to be seed starting today. Looks like I have these that were given to me that I can use, and then over here, ignore the mess. This is where we keep everything, like all my spring stuff in the winter, which I'm so excited to be able to get my green stock out soon. Oh, there's my seed starting trays over here. So later I'm gonna have to come down here and get all this out when I get back home, but we're not doing it right now because I want to get to town. But real quick, I want to mention this. They just sent out an email yesterday that next week, I think starting the 16th, they will be having their biggest green stock, that is, will be having their biggest sale of the year. And my code is stackable. It is, I don't remember what it is, but I'll put it on the screen and it gets you an extra $10 off. So it like makes it super cheap and definitely worth looking into. It's a vertical garden planter and I have 2 of them and absolutely love them. Made it out of Menards. I'd bring you in there with me, but it's one of those stores. It's like going to Walmart. You just want to get in and get out. But I got all the things that I needed to get. And we also got the most important thing, which is Reese's peanut butter cup eggs. I love these, but can we just take a moment to realize that this picture of the peanut butter on the front looks absolutely disgusting? I had to like make sure I was getting the right thing. And then now they have all kinds of peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter things, you know, things with marshmallow and so you just can't grab and go. You have to actually look. But now I'm gonna go over to Hobby Lobby and get what I need over there, and then Aldi, and we'll be done with our shopping in town. So good. So good. I wish I had the camera rolling because I was walking and I stepped on a cord and like the end of a cord. So essentially it's like stepping on a Lego and I fell over, almost tripped over everything, but I'm home. My groceries are put away, but I wanted to show you what I got at Hobby Lobby and kind of the theme that I'm going for with my friend's bathroom. So to give a little bit of a context to who she is a girl that she does rodeos and she's kind of girly girl, but kind of tomboy too. So anyway, she kind of likes grays, blacks, tans, whites, more of the neutral palette. I've been trying to really like respect and keep in mind of what she would like as I've been picking out stuff. Here is the vibe we are going for. We got this beautiful white shower curtain. It's like crinkly. I'm trying to bring in some fun, different textures and colors. This is going to be a hook to hang up her towels on. I got 2 of them, and just new shower hooks. I got this print to put in there possibly somewhere. And either I'm going to do a shelf over the toilet or I'm going to do a sign. So I haven't decided yet. And then I got her a new towel holder for her hand towel. Welcome to my makeshift table. So I'm going to be seed starting today, and I have had people messaging me on Instagram saying that they would like to see more gardening stuff this year, so I'm going to do my best to share my little bit of knowledge that I have. I haven't been gardening all that long, so I know a few things, but I'm no expert gardener, I guess you could say. I made this table. This is literally a bench from my kitchen that I just put this towel over. And I want this to be like a reminder for all people that you do not need all the fancy things like a greenhouse and all the things to do this kind of stuff. You can make do with what you have. All of this is really simple. This is my 2nd year seed starting. And the first year can be intimidating, but it's really not that bad. And so just let this be an encouragement to you guys to just try new things. The worst that happens is your seeds don't grow and then you go buy some from a greenhouse. So really there's no harm in trying any of this. So this is just what I do. There are 1,000 ways to skin a cat, as they say. And so there's the same thing with seed starting. I might do differently than like what some people do, but I found this to work just fine for me last year, and so I'm gonna do it again this year. Right now I just have this tub that I'm going to put my little containers in to fill my dirt, but these are all from last year. So that's another thing, is like you can save things from last year. You don't even have to buy anything new. You could use cups that you have at home, but I just have these trays, and then they have these little seed starting packs. And it used to be all in a line, but last year I cut them apart when I was dealing with my plants. And so I just saved all of mine, and then these are things that I'll transfer to later in the season. But I have that, and then the only other thing you need besides your seeds you just need seed starting mix. And essentially seed starting mix is just light dirt. Because your seeds are so little and fragile, you don't want to put like heavy topsoil on them. Sure, it works the same, but this is what I get. This is what was recommended to me. And this is what the store had, so I just got this brand. My seeds I have in this box. So this is actually a photo box. Here, hold on, let me show you. So it looks like this. And inside of it, I just have all of my seeds labeled in these containers. So I have different kinds of lettuce, melons, onions, peas, peppers, radishes, tomatoes. Like tomatoes are one we're gonna do today. And I just have all my different varieties of tomatoes in this. But today I know we're gonna start tomatoes, peppers. I tried lettuce last year, but it did not come up. Cabbage. I think I'm gonna start a cucumber plant this year. And I do have flowers that I'm gonna start early, but I need to look up how early to start them. I think that is what I'm gonna start for today. Now I'm gonna try my very best to keep this basic and straight to the point. When watching seed starting videos, at least this was my experience, there's just so much information thrown out to you and it all becomes a lot. And truthfully, I feel like you just need to start and then questions will come up as you go and then you can research them as needed. And I get all of my seeds off of Baker's Creek. They have heirloom seeds, which are just seeds that are not modified in any kind of way. If I see seeds at Walmart or wherever that like interest me, I'll buy them. But I put in one order every single year to Baker's Creek. Their price is wonderful. It's a good company. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take this just so I don't have dirt everywhere. And I'm gonna put some of these little containers in here so when I dump the dirt I can fill more than one of them at a time. And then I have my bag of mix. Oh, the dirt, it just smells like summer. Not me, but season. So I'm just going to take this cup and fill these all up and then I'll show you what I do next. So I picked out my tomato seeds that I want to plant this year, and tomatoes are the one thing that I plant the most of, but I have all my packets here of what I'm going to plant. And so my plan is to plant pretty much 4 of each plant, and then I'm gonna plant 4 extras of each plant just in case these like don't germinate or whatever. And then with those extra plants, what I do is I give them away to my grandma takes some, and then we have a family friend that takes some. What you need, at least this is what I do, I have these popsicle sticks and you can actually just get these at the Dollar Tree. On the popsicle stick, I'll write the type of plant. So for example, these are called Bonnie Best. I'll write Bonnie Best and then I'll write the date. That way I know when I started these and then what they are. And then that entire row, I do only that plant. And then in each little individual spot, I usually do 3 seeds per little cube. And then once they get bigger, which I'll go over this later in my like seeds starting journey or whatever, when they get bigger, you just pick the best one per pod and you cut it off. You cut all the other ones with scissors. That way they're not competing with each other. And then you let that one plant grow per little pod. But if you plant 3 per pod, it like brings up your chances of making sure that you have something that germinates well. Okay, so I have my first 2 little pods here and I'm gonna do cabbage in these. So right away, I'm gonna take the stick that says cabbage and put it in the end facing outward. That way I can read it all the time. And then you want to look at the instructions on the back of your seeds. It tells you how deep you should plant them. So for example, cabbage is 1/4 of an inch. And what I personally like to do is I just drop them on top. I'm gonna add about 3 seeds per little section. And then I just take some dirt and then just real lightly just put it over top and then I let it be. And then I move on and I do the same thing with all my seeds till they're all planted, and then I'll show you the next step. problems watering them. And this part you have to be a little bit careful. When you're watering them from the top, you don't want to use too much pressure. I always put it on like the spray mode on my sink, and I just keep it really low. But what I first do is I always bottom water. And essentially what that's doing right now is just getting water so it's not dry underneath of the seeds. So when they do start to root, they have some water to grab to and can start like growing and feeding themselves. And then you water from the top because you need to get your seeds to germinate, and they need to be wet to be germinated. So I'm just gonna add water to the bottom first. And I would say I have that filled about 1/4 of an inch full to 1/2 inch. And really that's fine for now, especially because there's not anything even growing yet. But I'm just gonna let that soak up the water. They'll just soak it up from the bottom. There's holes in the bottom of these. And then the top, I'll just take my sprayer and then I'll just go like this over it probably 2 or 3 times. So then what I do before they get moved downstairs is I cover them with saran wrap. And that's why I have these popsicle sticks on the other side now. I'll just cover it with saran wrap and it just makes a greenhouse effect. So I have these heat mats downstairs, which I'll show you in a second. And when the heat comes up through, then it makes moisture and it stays nice and warm and moist in the area, and it helps to germinate things a lot quicker. Some people have like some fancy plastic lids that go on their thing, but I don't own that kind of thing, and this is what I have. This works just fine. Okay, let me go take you to my greenhouse. This is it. We are here. Welcome to my laundry room. So over here is where I do all of my seed starting, as well as in our office, but it always starts right here. I did go ahead and get my light hung up. So for these lights, you can just use a regular shop light. These can be found with a Lights Out Walmart. Do not waste your money on a grow light because these do the exact same thing. And then I just put up some screws in our rafters and got some of this chain. So when I need to move my light up and down, I can just move it by the chains. And then over here, this is where I keep all my seeds and stuff when I'm not using them. In here, I just have actually only a few things, but this is where I keep my heat mats. I have these linked to my Amazon storefront, which is down below in my description, but these are really inexpensive and I got them in a pack of 2. You just plug these in, and then when your seeds are growing for the first couple weeks, they sit on these heat mats, and then it kind of just helps warm them up. It also gets the roots to go down towards the warmth, really getting good root development. And our basement is freezing. I mean, in the winter, we only keep our house at 62. And seeds definitely need a warmer environment than that. And so these are really handy. So this light, I will move it down so it's about an inch over the mat. Really, the light doesn't matter until the seeds come up. But the thing is, you want the light to be here for when the seeds do come up. If the light is not there waiting when the seeds come up, your seeds or your sprouts can become leggy, which you can look that up, but essentially it means they start reaching for the light and they become really weak, thin, and brittle. And so I always just keep my light on all the time until they come up, and then once my seeds come up, then I will start turning my light off at night. I turn it first thing on in the morning, like 6 a.m., and then I will turn it off last thing before I go to bed, because seedlings need a ton of light, especially in their early development, but you still need to get them used to like morning and night and give them rest before I call it a day and I clean up my entire mess that I've made over there. Really shouldn't be too bad to clean up, but it's gonna take a little bit of time. I wanted to share one tip that I've taken with me starting last year in my gardening. So I started a gardening journal, and in here, for example, last year I wrote down when I started my seeds. Then at the end of the year, when I was done with my seed starting, I made notes of things I wanted to change. So for example, last year I wrote that I wanted to start my seeds 2 to 3 weeks earlier than what I did. And so that's what I did this year. I started them earlier, so hopefully I'll have even hardier plants by the time they're ready to go in the ground. But in here I wrote down, like, I started my seeds on the 24th of March. I wrote down everything that I planted, and then I wrote all the supplies that I used. Every week or so I would give an update on what came up at what time, when I started putting fans on them and my lights and all that kind of stuff. And then I wrote when I repotted them into bigger pots. It was exactly 1 month later. And so anyway, this is just going to be a really good guide to look back on throughout all the years of things that I learned and things that I want to do differently or just do again. So I highly recommend getting a gardening journal and taking your journey along with you throughout the years. This will be really fun to like give to someone someday and be like, take this will get you all the knowledge you need to know. Take your learning into your own hands, guys. It's fun and there's always room to grow. Who cares if you fail? Because you're just gonna learn from it. So anyway, with that being said, thank you for hanging out with me today. I know we are kind of all over the place, but hopefully this video was good for many of you and you get something out of it. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next one.